I wouldn't necessarily say lack of control or supervision, but there's a lot of things, like I said, that young college students can get into, and I think that getting to them early is something that we needed to do, and that's what Coach Dooley said that we're going to do now to keep us out of the situations that we got in a few weeks ago.
Chris, we kind of joked around with you about your health this morning, but you have the surgery and the concerns in the past. Do you anticipate anything missing practices throughout the season or any of camp or anything like that going into this year?
I really don't think so. Anytime you play in the SEC, you're going to get banged up and bruised up. But unfortunately for me, it's happened a little bit more than I'd like. But, you really can't control what goes on. And if it happens, playing in the SEC, it's going to happen. So I'll just get to my trainers, get with them, and they'll get me back on the field as soon as possible.
Sorry, Brian, just one more thing about that. With the timing of the surgery, could you have had it earlier? Did it pop up something in the
It just popped up, maybe 2 weeks before. I was fine doing everything, but then this popped up and they did surgery on it immediately just to go in and see what's going on. They found what's going on. So,
are you worried more about the knee or the back? I mean, I know the back's just lingering out there. Which is the more difficult thing to manage?
I really don't think either of them are very difficult to manage. When you have a training staff like we have at Tennessee, Jason McVay does a great job of keeping me, keeping on me to keep both of them rehabbed up and treatment up. So I think it's going to be easy for me to keep those up because I'm used to dealing with them, I guess.
You mentioned buying into Dooley, or you liking Coach Dooley. Mm-hmm. Did you remember the one particular moment, or was there a particular couple of things that happened where you said, okay, obviously from the get-go, he's our coach, we're going to play for him, but was there one or two moments where you went, okay, I like this guy, he's my guy, I'm 100% all in?
Right. I think there are two things when I think about just when I felt comfort with Coach Dooley. One was when he came into the team meeting and he told us, I'm not going to ask you to trust me because you guys have been through a lot, and I know you're not going to trust me right off the bat, but over time, you're going to learn to trust me. And that was something that was huge because it'd be very difficult for a coach to come in, but guys got to just trust me, and that's something that we couldn't have done right away. And he's earned our respect, he's earned our trust. And another thing is when he had his press conference later that night, he said that he's willing to embrace the traditions at Tennessee. And being a Tennessee guy, that's something that's huge to me because I take a lot of pride in this university and a lot of pride in the traditions of the university. And for him to say, him not being a Tennessee guy like Coach Fulmer was, but for him to say that he wants to embrace the traditions is something that was a big hitter for me.
Chris, you work against
Speaking of
these
tradition, how difficult was it to go through what you all went through? Speaking of tradition,
it was a little difficult because there were some things that kind of got pushed to the side that we've been doing at Tennessee for a long time. It was kind of disappointing, but like I said, I'm looking forward to Coach Dooley embracing those traditions and bringing them back.
can you give us a couple of examples?
I think some of the game maxims, something that we've been doing since I've been at Tennessee. We really didn't do as much as we did when I started playing for Tennessee, but Coach Dooley already loves them, and we set them before the spring game, so it's something that's a good positive turn for us.
Can you give us an example of one of those?
The game maxims? I was doing an interview earlier, and they were just talking about the art of interceptions and the word OSCE, and they said it actually dates back to General Neyland, and that word is in our maxim. It says ball, OSCE, cover, block, cut, slice, pursuing game tackle, for this is the winning edge. That's one of the things that we say. It's, I think, 7 of them that we say before the game, before every game.
You guys didn't stop saying those last year?
We really didn't say them with the passion and with the importance that we did with Coach Fulmer's staff. With Coach Fulmer, that was the one thing that we took more pride in than anything else that we did before the game. And it just kind of got pushed to the side last year.
And Dooley brought that back like in the spring? Or?
Yeah, when he first got to Tennessee, when they introduced him as a coach, he was standing beside the game maxims in the locker room. And he said he loved them after he looked at them and thought about them. He loved them. And we set them before the spring game. And that's something that was really good for us.
Do you think because of his background in SEC with his dad that he has a true understanding of this league and Tennessee's place in it, and that's why there's a connection? Like, he truly gets it where Lane just never really got that.
Right.
But
That's something that another thing that I liked about Coach Dooley, that he understood the SEC, because obviously with his father being the coach at Georgia, he understood what the SEC was all about. He understood what it takes to win in the SEC and the type of players you have to have in the SEC. So I think it was a good thing, definitely, for us to get a guy that understands it.
Coach Dooley said at the podium a little while ago that he holds the leaders of the team responsible for the behavior of everybody on the team. Has he told you guys that, and
Yes.
you guys willing to take on that responsibility?
Yeah, we know as a leadership group that we've kind of let our team down. This never happened. We made a mistake as a team. We made a mistake as individuals. And now that we have had this situation, we know that it's going to be something that we have to correct as leadership, and that's something that we've done. As far as just taking care of it in-house, we didn't want to get the coaches involved because they have a lot of other things they have to deal with. So as seniors, we brought the team together and we kind of talked to them. It was like, guys, we got to cut all this out because it's taken away from what we're going to do on the field. So I think the guys understand that now, and as a leadership, we're really conscious of that. And like I said earlier, it's brought us closer together.
Chris, you've gone against 3 different offenses in 3 years as
Right.
well. Talk about